Hey everyone, welcome to my today's episode. I am really happy that you are here. I'm your host Mark, and today we have a very special episode for you. We dive into a topic that is very interesting and useful for language learners. Today we have an expert of languages right beside us that will help you to memorize words in different ways. Welcome, Chris. It's good to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mark. It's awesome to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you here, Chris. So today we're talking about something that we all struggle with: memorizing words. Whether you're studying a new language, expanding your vocabulary, or just trying to remember things for a test, it can be tough. But don't worry, because we're going to share some innovative, unconventional techniques that will make memorizing words easier, more fun, and way more effective. And Chris, you've got some fresh ideas, right?
Absolutely. I'm excited to dive into these new methods beyond traditional flashcards and rote memorization. These techniques involve creativity and active learning, which is key to making words stick in our long-term memory.
Before we dive into the techniques, Chris, I'd love to hear your take on why memorizing words is so hard for most people. What makes it such a challenge?
Good question, Mark. I believe that it's simply because most conventional teaching approaches are purely focused on memorization. That is to say, there's not really an involvement with the brain as much as people want it to be. It has to mean more than the definition. The words have to feel like life and relate to you emotionally or personally. It becomes so much easier to recall once those ties are created.
That makes so much sense. So we need to make these words meaningful in some way beyond just repeating them repeatedly, right?
Exactly. And that's what these methods will help with.
All right, let's get started. What's the first method we can use to make words stick in our brains?
The first method is called the hyperactive word journal. It's just really creating an active experience with words. So you don't just write definitions. You actively work with the word by drawing, doodling, mind mapping a word.
Okay, how would that actually look in practice?
Let's take the word gregarious, which means sociable. Rather than just jotting down the word sociable, you could sketch a scene of a party in which people are laughing and chatting. You might even make one person over-the-top friendly, someone who can't stop socializing to exaggerate the meaning. You can use colors, illustrations, anything that makes the word feel vivid and dynamic.
So it's like bringing the word to life visually. You're not just memorizing the meaning, you're visualizing it in action.
Exactly. The more creative and exaggerated your drawing, the more likely it will stick. Let's say you're using multiple senses and engaging your brain in a way that makes the word unforgettable.
I love that. It taps into creativity. What's next? What's another technique for making words stick?
Next up is the synonym swap. This method helps you understand a word by exploring its different shades of meaning. Instead of just memorizing a single definition, you think of at least 3 different synonyms that relate to the word, and explore how each synonym might look in different contexts.
So you're basically expanding your understanding of the word by connecting it to different but related words.
Yes, correct. Let's use the word melancholy, which means sadness or a deep sorrow. You could swap it with synonyms like wistful, blue, and somber. Each of these synonyms has a slightly different feel or context, and thinking about how they fit into different situations helps you form a deeper connection with the original word.
I see how that works. By associating the word with different emotions or situations, it becomes part of a larger network of meanings in your brain.
You got it. You're essentially building a mental map of related concepts, which helps solidify the original word in your memory.
Well, this one sounds like a blast. How about the word-to-action technique? What's that all about?
The word-to-action technique is all about physically engaging with the word. Instead of just thinking about the word, you act it out. This method connects the word to your body and movement, which helps reinforce the memory.
Wait, so you're saying you physically act out the meaning of a word?
Exactly. Take the word procrastinate. Instead of memorizing just the definition, you actually do the action of procrastinating. You sit down, look at your work, and then you reach for your phone or begin scrolling through social media. You feel the hesitation, the delay. The action brings the word to life.
That's funny and brilliant at the same time. You're making the word into an experience that you can feel.
Exactly. It's not just a matter of repeating the word, it's about living the word. This method intensifies the word with your memory.
Now, I'm interested in the last method, the word chain challenge. Let's hear more about it.
The word chain challenge is all about connecting words in a chain based on associations. You start with one word, and then you link it to another word that's related. The goal is to build a long chain of connected words without breaking the chain.
So, like a game where each word leads into the next one?
Fantastic. That's right. Let's say you start with the word adventure. You might connect it to explore, then journey, then discovery, then curiosity, and so on. You're linking words together based on meaning, sound, or imagery, and the more you add, the stronger the connection to the original word becomes.
That's a great way to build a mental web of words. Plus, it makes learning feel like a fun challenge.
Yes, it's interactive and gets your brain churning while creating that super network for new words.
Chris, these are pretty fun and imaginative strategies. I bet they would ease some of the hassle for memorization for the lot of us when we try and listen. Just before I'm done here, though, what do you think your one final recommendation to have someone learn word lists is, huh?
The word needs to be meaningful and engaging for you. If you can create personal connections, use some visuals, act it out even, or turn it into a game, your brain will retain it so much better. Do not just memorize the word. Live it, feel it, and experience it.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing these amazing techniques, Chris. I'm definitely going to start using them myself.
Thanks for having me, Mark. It's been great to be here and share these methods with everybody.
And to all of you listening, go and try out these methods for yourselves, give them a shot, and share with us how they work for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone who could use a little help with their vocabulary. See you next time. Unconventional. Not following traditional or widely accepted methods. Example. We're talking about unconventional techniques to memorize words, going beyond traditional methods like flashcards. Memorization. The process of committing something to memory. Example. Traditional methods of memorization rely on repetition, but they don't engage the brain as effectively as we'd like. Cognitive. Relating to the mental processes of perception, memory, judgment, and reasoning. Example. To make words stick, you need to activate your cognitive processes by linking the word to something meaningful. Vivid. Producing clear, powerful images in the mind. Example. Imagine a vivid scene of a party with people interacting. That helps you remember the word gregarious. Exaggerated. Representing something in an overstated or extreme manner. Example. You might draw an exaggerated version of a social butterfly to reinforce the meaning of gregarious. Association. The process of connecting one thing with another in your mind. Example. By creating an association between a word and a memorable image, it becomes much easier to recall. Reinforce. To strengthen or support something, especially through repetition. Example. Repetition will reinforce the word's meaning and help it stay in your long-term memory. Procrastinate. To delay or postpone doing something, often due to avoidance. Example. To understand procrastinate, physically act out the hesitation like avoiding a task to check your phone. Interactive. Involving active participation or engagement. Example. An interactive approach like acting out words can help cement them in your memory. Jotting. Quickly writing down brief notes or ideas. Example. Instead of jotting down definitions, you actively engage with the word by drawing or mind mapping.